So Everdale just made it super easy to get 10,000 gems. But what are the best ways to spend them? In this video, I'm going to be breaking it down into 3 very easy sections for you guys: beginners, intermediate, and advanced. You'll be able to find the timestamps for all of these different sections down in the description below. Okay, so first things first, let's jump straight into the beginners section. So let's just assume that you guys are relatively new to the game. However, you have managed to pick up those 10,000 gems that Supercell very kindly gifted us. If you guys didn't already know, Supercell has a 1,000 gem per friend invited event going on at the moment, and you guys can find out more information about that in my Infinite Gems video. So assuming you now have these 10,000 gems, what are the best ways to spend them as a beginner? Well, first things first, it's Franz. Franz the Fixer is absolutely vital early game if you want to progress quickly. So Franz is pretty expensive at 200 gems every 2 days, but he is very much worth it. If we click on Franz right here, you guys will see he is a temporary super worker who excels at all village tasks, and he certainly does. You guys will see on his little thing, all skills are 50%. Now 50% might not seem like that much to you, but it is basically the equivalent of a level 5 villager, and that is absolutely massive early game, especially when it comes to your research. Research is such an important thing early game because we have things just like that, and that is houses to unlock new villagers. Early game, you want to push to unlock as many villagers as possible so you can maximize your efficiency and how many resources you are able to get in your village to help out in your valley. So buying Franz with those 200 gems not only is going to allow you to speed up your progress, but it means all of the rest of your villagers can focus on other tasks while Franz is getting the study upgraded nice and quickly. Also, if you're in desperate need of some resources in your village to maybe help out in a valley task or something, Franz has 50% boost to all skills in the village, which is absolutely awesome. I found I was using him on things like clay, on wood, early game, and it really helped to push our valley nice and quickly. So definitely for you beginners out there, Franz is 100% the best way to spend your gems. However, if you do want to go one step further in spending your gems and you have a little bit extra, I mean 10k is going to go quite far when it comes to buying Franz, you guys can also go ahead and buy some nectar. Nectar is an absolutely fantastic resource here in the game. Early game, they actually give you 30 nectar completely free, which is really nice, but you guys will use that pretty quickly if you're anything like me. Nectar has the ability to speed up things by 300%, which is absolutely crazy, and 1 nectar is the equivalent of 1 minute of boost. You are able to boost up to 30 minutes at a time. You can continuously top this up, and as long as you have the nectar, you can keep this boost going for as long as you possibly want. So like I said, if you have excess gems as a beginner, make sure you guys pick up some nectar as well, because it's pretty good value here in the shop. You're able to get 20 nectar for only 10 gems, so that's 20-minute boost at 300% for only 10 gems. In my opinion, that's a fantastic offer. Okay, so moving through into the intermediate section. First things first, you guys 100% are still going to want to have Franz. Franz is by far one of the best resources early game that you guys are able to get. Like I said in the beginner section, it's only going to take 200 gems to get him for 2 days, and that means you have another villager to help progress your village, especially when it comes to the study. So what I did early game was I continuously got Franz until I had one of my villagers upgraded to at least level 5 or higher, because focusing on your research early game is one of the most important things you guys can do, and you always want to maximize that boost that you have on your study. So having the ability to get Franz and use that 50%, basically a level 5 villager, is really, really nice. But of course, if you have the ability to push a villager higher than level 5, 100%, you do not need to get Franz anymore. You can potentially continuously get him, but don't use him on your study. Make sure you use your higher leveled villager. Next up, once again, we have nectar. Nectar is a fantastic resource that you guys need to make sure you are making the most of. It's going to speed up everything in the village by 300%. So if you have some excess gems, nectar is the way to go. And the final thing for you guys who are kind of mid-level is premium ships. Premium ships are a fantastic way to get more gold, to get more reputation, to just get more resources in the game, and it's really going to help to push your reputation road when it comes to those ships. If we jump over here onto our harbor, you guys will see we have maximized our Glimmering Dales and Highland Academy ships, and we are quite far through progressing on some of our other ships as well. Now, pushing your reputation with these is absolutely vital, especially when it comes to later game, because you want to make sure you are getting as much resources from these ships as you possibly can. So you guys will see right now in the harbor, I have actually summoned a Glimmering Dales ship. Now, the Glimmering Dales ship, in my personal opinion, is the absolute best ship you are able to get, because gold is such a valuable resource in the game. You are always needing gold, whether that's for valley construction, for upgrading your own village, for pushing your villagers' levels in the guild. You are constantly in desperate need of gold. That's from early game all the way through to late game. So what we've been finding here in our valley is we've been using this premium ship slot always to get the Glimmering Dale ship and to get that extra bit of gold. We've then been using the 2 free slots in the harbor to grab some of those other ships, to get some cocoa, to get some iron, just to get a few other of those resources. So like I said earlier, if you have some excess gems and you do want to pick up some of these ships, it's only going to cost you 150 gems to actually get the Glimmering Dale ship, which in my opinion is really good value, and you're going to be able to help out some of your valley mates while you're at it. Alright, so moving through now into the advanced section of this video, you are no longer going to need this guy right here, and that is Franz the Fixer. By this point, you should have enough villagers. In my opinion, you should have about 10 or 11 villagers to be classed in the advanced section. Once you have this amount of villagers, there is no way you're really going to need Franz, because he is only limited to working in your village, and most of the time having 10 villagers is definitely going to cover absolutely everything you will possibly need. So in my personal opinion, one of the best ways you can spend gems as an advanced player is by buying nectar. Having 10 or 11 villagers working in your village, all boosted by 300% thanks to nectar, is absolutely mega. So 100%, if you have those 10k gems from the free inviting friends event currently on at the moment, 100% I would recommend spending a good chunk of that on nectar and trying to continuously boost. Of course, a little tip for you guys: if you have a no hunger event on, make sure you make the most of that with your nectar, because everything is going to be sped up even more. The next thing we're going to be taking a look at is, once again, premium ships. So very much like the intermediate video, I'm going to highly recommend you guys spend 150 gems to get the Glimmering Dales ship, because late game spending gold is still a vital part. I've found that late game I spend most of my gold on a little bit of valley construction, but mainly on leveling up my villagers in the guilds. You guys will see I've actually got a few villagers who have just finished here in the guilds, but if we jump on over into the Builders Guild, you'll see it's going to cost us 10,000 gold just to get a villager up there to level 10, and that does start to get quite pricey. So using that premium ships dock in the harbor is 100%, in my opinion, one of the best uses of your gems. And one of the final things you are able to spend your gems on as an advanced player is buying some of the potions from the shop. Now, you can do this as a beginner or intermediate player, but in my personal opinion, there are much better use cases for your gems. But later game, you might have a lot more gems to spend, and if you ever see any researcher potions in the shop, whether that's researcher's brew or the researcher's tonic, I would highly recommend buying them at the discounted prices. Speeding up your study is always a vital part of the game, whether that's early game or late game. Later game is very important, because some of those research things are going to cost up to 10,000 scrolls, which is very expensive and is going to take a considerable amount of time, even if you have a level 10 villager. So just like I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to spend 30 gems just to get that researcher's potion right there. So if you guys have some excess gems, this is one of the things I would recommend as an advanced player. And that does bring me to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player, let me know down in the comments, how many villagers do you currently have here in Everdale? I hope you guys did enjoy this though. While you're down there in the comments, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe as well for more Everdale content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
There's not a single day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up before you come around. I yearn for the days when I see your face.